Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in, day out. Once again, Shalom. Basically, I'm just going to get into a quick lesson, okay, touching off this video, a quick short, okay, off the beloved brother amongst the ministry that's in the faith. His channel is the Hopeful Elect 3, okay, and you see the title he gave the, the laughing emojis, okay, because, of course, I'm going to play the video, but, hey, it's going to show you that we in the time that Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, bringing judgment, okay, in this case by the way of wild beasts, okay. When it comes to this video, you had this appear to be Edomite, okay, got attacked by a bison, okay, which a bison is a large, animal, okay, a large, what they would say a bull, okay. Yeah, but the reason why, getting into this lesson, okay, this quick lesson, because, during the time of the 18th century, okay, when it came to the U.S. military, okay, we always know that how they came over here with the conflict between the bloodshed of the Native Americans, okay, which go back to the tribe of Israel. When it comes to the tribe of Gad, okay, one of the sons of Israel, okay, when they came over here, okay, brought their onslaught against the Native Americans. And one of the things that the Edomites did, the so-called white race, when it came to the U.S. military, okay, they destroyed a lot of the resources of the Native Americans or the Gadites, okay, when it came to the bison, okay. And when it came to the tribe of Gad, okay, they known to, to hunt the bisons, okay, but not to overhunt them, okay. They use those resources when it comes to the bisons, okay, of course, for food, shelter, okay, when it comes to the hide, okay, they use the hide after the, eating of the bison, okay, not only just for the, the eating of the bison or the meat, but use the hide for shelter, okay, for their tents, okay, they use it for clothing, okay, when it came to the, the winter, okay, the hide, okay, to keep them warm. They use it also when it comes to the bison, okay, when it comes to the bones of the bison, they use it for weaponry during that time, okay, to make, spears, and certain tools for their benefits, okay. But when Esau came, okay, and brought their onslaught, okay, to the Native Americans, but not only to the Native Americans, but to the bisons, man, okay. And that's why we kind of intrigued, to do this lesson, because, when I play this video, hey, this is the Lord, hey, about ready to bring vengeance on you Edomites, man, okay, by the way of the wild beasts, man. Hey, we're in the time of Esau, Edom downfall, okay, when it comes to their kingdom and their judgment, man. So let me go ahead and play this video, and I'm gonna get an article or some history, okay, going into the slaughter of the bisons, okay, and I'm gonna get some scriptures, and that'll be the lesson. Like I said, just a quick lesson, and I hope that the lesson is edifying. So let me play it.
This morning, a grandfather visiting Yellowstone National Park stalked, then thrown into the air by a massive bison. Campers noticing the lone bison amid the tents and running around the site. The bison can then be seen resting momentarily on the grass when the grandfather and his grandson walk into view, stopping to take photos. Mike McLeod, a local park photographer, capturing the attack.
Just as the minute that bison stood up, the grandfather's like, we're out of here.
But just as a white pickup truck comes into view, the bison begins to charge the fleeing pair. His grandfather attempting to hide among the trees, but the bison in hot pursuit, eventually tossing the helpless visitor 8 feet in the air.
The bison was pumping his legs and pumping his head and exhibiting very aggressive behavior.
McLeod, trying to distract the bison by yelling and jumping up and down, putting down his camera to rush and assist the injured man.
He was in a lot of pain and he was trying to not move his leg, but his immediate concern was for his grandson.
McLeod telling us the grandson was shaken but doing okay. Experts say summer can be a dangerous time of year to be around male bison.
So we're at the peak of what's called the bison rut. And this is where the males are just raging in hormones because they're fighting for territories and they're fighting for females. The key thing to do is to move away slowly. Do not run, do not make any fast types of movements.
Yeah, this is the time of them being territory, okay, when it comes to the male bison, okay, over territory or other male bison, they're trying to mate with female bisons, okay, in terms of, so they, being more alert. Yeah, especially when they see some Edomites, okay, that come in their territory, okay. Yeah, because when it comes to Esau, Edom, man, they known to be in, as one of their characteristics when it comes to the blessing of their sword, okay, they're known to be being hunters, okay. Yeah, so I took that as, hey, the Lord put the spirit on that bison, okay, to remind these Edomites, okay, especially that individual, okay, that the Lord ain't forgot about, okay, what they doing to the earth, what they doing to the animals, agriculture, and when it comes to mankind, okay, especially when it comes to the Israelites, okay, like I say, the history going into the hunting of the bisons, okay. Let me go ahead and get that. Hey, so the Lord brought that judgment, man. Let me see now. Here we go. And this is off of Google. AI overall, and it reads: in the 19th century, commercial high hunting and U.S. military strategy drove the American bison to the brink of extinction. Between 1820 and 1880, the population plummeted from roughly 30 to 60 million to fewer than 1,000 wild animals. Okay, so that's how corrupt Esau Edom was back then when it came to overhunting the bisons. Just to come against Gad, man. Okay, within roughly what that's 60 years. Okay, the numbers of the bisons went from 30 to 60 million fewer than 1,000. Okay, hey, that's Esau Edom, man. Okay, that's why this devil got to go still until this day. Okay, because as it says, Yahweh Shai said is Matthew the 24th chapter, verses 22. If the Lord didn't shorten the days for the elect's sake, there'll be no flesh saved, man, including the animals, man. You got certain animals that's on the verge of extinction, okay, due to Esau Edom. Like I say, man, when it comes to the blessing of their sword, they known for their hunting, okay. That's one of their characteristics as well. Okay, as the scripture says, Esau was a cunning hunter, okay. And a lot of these hunters, they don't do it to, mainly like for food. Okay, they do it for sports, man. Okay, commercializing. Okay, for fashion. Okay, when it comes to certain animals, when it comes to they hide. Okay, certain mounts. Okay, Esau, you don't know the, I forgot the term. Okay, stuff they kills, they animals, and put them on display. Okay, mounting their heads up on the wall, on the display in their houses or in their, certain facilities. Okay. Yeah, so I took it as when that bison knocked that Edomite up in the air, that the Spirit of the Lord bringing judgment. And there's gonna be more wild beasts or teeth of wild beasts that the Lord gonna allow to bring in judgment, man. Okay. And it says the mass slaughter was activity endorsed by the government to deprive plains Native Americans tribes of their primary food sources. Okay, so it was basically a strategy. Okay, a surge attack or strike, man. Okay, to come against Gad. Okay, when it comes to like I say, because Gad was known to, when it came to the resources of the bisons. Okay, for their food source. Okay, not only for food, but building these tents, their teepees, I believe that's what it's called. Okay, and like I said, using the bison's remain, okay, for weaponry, okay, for spears, okay, armor, okay, and other certain tools that they use, man. Hey, so you know, like I said, I took it as that the Lord put the spirit on that bison, man. Okay, the you know, the lunch that Edomite in the air. Okay, let me see something on. Hold on, give me a minute. See, now I went to imagery. Hey, look at this. Show you the heinous history of Esau, Edom. Look at that. Okay, all those, you know, you see that mountain of skulls? Okay, all those are bison skulls, man, that Esau, Edom posted up, taking these pictures and boasting about when it comes to their sport of hunting these bisons back then. Okay, look at all those skulls, man. And this ain't AI, okay? Because this image was out here way before AI, man. Okay, this is actually a image, okay? A hunting reminder of history. The massive pile of American bison skulls reveal how an entire species will nearly wiped out within a single century. Okay? Yeah, so you see it. Look at all those skulls, man. If you ever wonder how the American buffalo could go from 30 to 350 years, this is your picture. Okay, look at that, man. All those skulls, man. Like I say, this ain't AI. Okay? And who you got? Edomites posting. Okay, a couple of them. Look at that. Yeah, so no wonder that bison, that bison took revenge for his ancestors on that Edomite, man. Look at that, man. Esau. If y'all can see it. Yeah, so basically, hey, the Lord, you know, put that spirit on that bison to knock that Edomite up in the air, man. And he probably was one of the ones back then, because we know everything reincarnated. Okay, they had a hand in slaughtering, you know, the masses of bisons. Okay, look how they, you know, was back then. Okay, all, you know, hunting these bisons due to the fact, okay, to deprive the resources from the tribe of Gad. Okay, to make them suffer. Okay. Like I say, man, you know, that bison is a large animal, man. Okay, a wild beast, man. Okay, y'all see it in that video. So let's go ahead and get into the scriptures. Like I say, just a quick video. And I'm gonna start off with Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, going to starting at verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Okay, and that was a spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai that he put on that bison and knocked that old Edomite up in the air, 8 feet in the air. Okay, it could have been worse than that. Okay, and it says, in the time of the destructions, they pour out their forces and to please the wrath of him that made them. Okay, so that's Yahweh Shem Shai bringing judgment. Okay, fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Okay, we know that's on the rise. Okay, fire, you hear more about these heat waves. Okay, fire, explosions. Okay, and we know the ultimate fire going to be those thermonuclear missiles destroying this place, America. Okay, at the peak of the Third World War, leading to the time of who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai's second coming, by the way of the chariots, bringing fire as well. What the world called UFOs, man. Okay? And the Lord delivering the elect of the nation of Israel. And it says on fire and hail, okay, hailstorms, okay, severe cold weather, okay, famine, okay, food shortages, droughts, okay, and death. All these was created for vengeance, and all those that I named can lead to judgment when it comes to death or somebody getting wounded. Okay, verse 30, the point: teeth of wild beasts. Okay, teeth of wild beasts. In this case, that bison. Okay, he didn't, he shred him with his teeth, but he hit him, with that horn, man, or with his head, with his force, knocking him up in the air, man. Okay, and you're gonna actually have teeth of wild beasts. Okay, such as, you seeing that now. So these Edomites getting attacked by lions, cougars, bobcats. Okay. When it comes to them being out there in the wild, tigers. Okay. People getting mauled by dogs. Okay. Certain exotic animals, such as when it comes to the chimpanzees, certain monkeys, and gorillas. Okay. People getting attacked by rhinos, hippos, etc., man, when it comes to the wildlife. Okay, snakes, okay, birds, okay, the fowls of the air that Lord gonna use as well. Okay. Certain animals, man, insects. Okay. And it says, and scorpions, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punish the wicked to destruction. Okay, and so that's part of the Lord's judgment too, the teeth of wild beasts. Okay. And like I always make mention, America always known for its wildlife when it comes to the zoos. Okay, wait till all hell break loose and the Lord allow these animals to come out of their captivity, because that's what those zoos are. Okay, because these animals supposed to be in a wild, natural state when it comes to their area. Okay. But wait till the Lord allow these animals be when all hell break loose and animals, okay, being released out of these zoos, or people that got these exotic animals. Okay. And so the Lord gonna bring that judgment, man. Okay. I know it's a scripture said when they're gonna change their habitation. Matter of fact, give me a minute. Okay, here we go. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. And there should be a confusion also in many places, and the fire should be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters. Okay, the point I wanted to get, wild beasts shall change their places, man. Okay, that's why you're starting to see certain wild beasts, okay, going to certain areas of the cities where people dwell. Okay, when it comes to like coyotes, okay, in certain areas, okay, bobcats, okay, cougars, okay, even deers. Okay. Hey, so Lord gonna use these animals to a certain extent to bring judgment, man. Okay. A lot of these wildlife, when it comes to a lot of these parks, people gonna be getting attacked, man. Let's get this. Hosea chapter 13, verse 7. Therefore I will be unto them as a lion, as a leopard, by the way will I observe them. Okay. And this is the Lord, talking about watching these heathens and the wicked, including 2/3 of our people. Okay, but Lord also, just as the Lord watching these people ready to strike at an instance when it comes to judgment, and that's how these lions or these animals present themselves for that perfect time. Okay, to set up their prey to attack them. Okay, to bring harm to them or take them out. Okay, so a lion, a leopard. Okay, I will meet them as a bear. A bear can be devastated. Okay, and it says, that is purveyed of her whelps. Okay, especially when they got the saying that when you ever see some cubs, bear cubs, just to know that the mother of the cubs are around, and they really very protective over their cubs, man. Okay, a lot of these Edomites and individuals, especially Edom, that mess with these wild animals, knowing to mess with their cubs and trying to catch them, and next thing you know they getting slaughtered by the parents. Okay, the mother bear or the father bear being protected. Okay, yeah, we know the account about the 2 she bears that the Lord used with the bring judgment or those 40 children. Okay, that made mockery of Elisha. Okay, their history. Okay, so the Lord used animals to bring judgment, man. Okay, and Esau show you that in certain shows. Okay, animals attack and all that. And it says, it will render the crew of their heart, and there will I devour them like a lion. The wild beast shall tear them. Okay, hey, so the teeth of wild beasts, man. Okay, so that's it on that. Matter of fact, let's get this. Well, that's on Amos. And it says that let me see. It's been a while since I got it. I think I was in the right chapter. Let me see. No, I'm thinking in Amos. Yeah, here we go. Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto them, or woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and the bear met him. Okay, so this is going into how the Lord bringing judgment by the way of various plagues, okay, spiritually. And the Lord using the, symbolic of the animals. Okay, but there is going to be physical animals that the Lord going to use, okay, to bring judgment. Okay, such as the lion, the bear. Okay, and it's a lion that as a man did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Okay, so 3 deadliest animals, man, that the Lord can use, man. Okay, of course, there's going to how the Lord bringing judgment, that people ain't going to be able to escape for judgment. But part of the Lord's judgment is animals, man. Okay, so that's it on that. Hey, but when it comes to us are the hopeful act. Hey, the Lord said we're going to be taken care of. Okay, that the animal's going to be at peace with us, man. Let's get that. And I'll get ready to close. Job chapter 5, verse 23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shall not sin. Okay, so Lord gonna be with his elect. Okay, when it comes to deliverance. Okay, in this case, when it comes to the teeth of wild beasts. Okay, because the Lord gonna use these animals, certain animals, okay, to bring judgment. okay, on these people, man. Okay, on these heathens and 2/3 of our people. Okay, the Lord only going to deliver the elect. Okay, so let me I'm about to get ready to close. Hold on. I just want to play it one more time.
This morning, a grandfather visiting Yellowstone National Park stalked, then thrown into the air by a massive bison. Campers noticing the lone bison amid the tents and running around the site. The bison can then be seen resting momentarily on the grass when the grandfather and his grandson walk into view, stopping to take photos. Mike McLeod, a local park photographer, capturing the attack.
Just as the minute that bison stood up, the grandfather's like, "We're out of here."
But just as a white pickup truck comes into view, the bison begins to charge the fleeing pair. His grandfather attempting to hide among the trees, but the bison in hot pursuit, eventually tossing the helpless visitor 8 feet in the air.
The bison was pumping his legs and pumping his head and exhibiting very aggressive behavior.
McLeod, trying to distract the bison by yelling and jumping up and down, putting down his camera to rush and assist the injured man.
He was in a lot of pain and he was trying to not move his leg, but his immediate concern was for his grandson.
McLeod telling us the grandson was shaken but doing okay. Experts say summer can be a dangerous time of year to be around male bison.
So we're at the
Hey, so that bison, hey man, this one for the ancestors, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that lesson will edify until next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.